What up, YouTube brothers? So, here today with a Trishula loop deck for you, because I know everybody in the Yu-Gi-Oh community really loves Trishula loops. It's like their favorite thing, right? This one uses 6 Samurai, my favorite deck. I'm very excited about it. It is by no means consistent. I would never tell you to, take it to a Nationals or a Shonen or anything like that. However, it is an awful lot of fun to play. I just took it to a regionals a little while ago. I did okay, and I got kind of a lot of attention about it. I'm not by any means saying that I invented this, but I think, at least in my area, I did make it popular because nobody knew how to do it. My buddy Albert came to me and he was like, "Hey man, check it out, I got this Trishula loop idea using Samurai," and then, obviously I was pretty excited about it, so I was like, "Okay, what's up, man?" But it was like 28 jillion cards, like it didn't make any sense. He was like, "You need 3 United and a Gateway and 4 monsters in your hand," and I was like, "How do you even do this?" He's like, 3 Reckless Greeds, and I was like, "Okay, wait, hang on a minute." So, I asked him if he wouldn't mind if I took that idea and modified it and made it my own thing, and he was like, "Yeah, knock yourself out." So that's exactly what I did. And all day at regionals, the judges were coming over like, "Okay, we need to know, how does this win? Like, we don't get it." And then I would do it, and they'd be like, "Oh, what, really?" And yeah, it was kind of fun because I usually have kind of a crowd around my matches, but there's a couple of times where I had a lot of people watching, and it was pretty good. So if you're in an area that doesn't know about this, and you want to feel like a baller for a day, I would definitely say to go ahead and figure out how to make this consistent, because it's very, very fun. So the way you do it is these 4 right here. Instead of United, you could very easily use Temple or Dojo. I'm actually going to be using Dojo for the example because you need Squire in the deck, and it saves you the trouble of a Foolish Burial or something like that. But it is certainly possible with United if you already have Squire in the graveyard. Certainly possible with Temple if you already have it in the graveyard. However, if you were going to make a deck dedicated to this, I would say Temple actually might be preferable because it's searchable, and obviously as any FTK loop in existence, consistency is always going to be an issue. So the fact that you can search for Temple is pretty neat. But we're going to be using Dojo for my example with it. And instead of one of the monsters, you could have either of these 2 spells, because obviously Mizuo Rota gets the Shinai and the Smoke Signal gets the Shinai, or vice versa. So it's not super, super strict. This has some leniency, this has some leniency, but this setup of 4 should probably be your end result. And then you activate, I don't need to tell you that part. Summon, just as you would normally, because for anyone that doesn't know, Mizuo can be special summoned while you control Shinai and vice versa, so a very neat trick with them. You get the counters, a la such, and you use 4 of them, because Gateway can take counters from anywhere on your side of the field, not just itself. It does say that on the card, but I've noticed some people don't know that, so if anyone was unaware, definitely something to be mindful of. You get another Shinai and you summon it. Give you 2 more on Gateway, 1 on Dojo, so you lose a counter there. However, you activate Mizuo's effect and tribute Shinai for the cost to blow itself up. And because Shinai is a mandatory effect and can't miss the timing, it actually waits until Mizuo resolves to give you back a monster. So you can get the same Mizuo and summon it again. And in that way, you plus 2 counters because you replace this one and gain these 2. So, you do it again and again and again. I'm just going to walk it through once. So remove 4 to summon from the graveyard, because it can get from the graveyard too. 2 and 1. Mizuo's effect, tribute, destroy itself and get it back, summon. I'm going to give you 2 of these. 1 here, and you can just go ahead and loop that until you have, 11 bazillion lots of counters. So many counters. And at that point, it really doesn't matter how many are on Dojo, because I don't think you're ever going to have an occasion to summon a monster from your deck with level 1 billion or less. But I did do that. I did declare 1 billion or less, so that was fun. And the way it ends, this part of it, is you summon again, get some counters, nobody gives a shit, and then Muso's effect, tribute and destroy itself, and you just kind of keep the Muso in your hand. But you need to have one samurai on the field, 4 spots open, and use Gateway's effect to get a Grandmaster and summon it, a Kizan and summon it, and Kizan and summon it, and this can be from your hand or deck, doesn't matter, graveyard, whatever. And you pitch the dojo to get Shien's Squire, and for the sake of relative ease, I'm just going to take these away because you have 11 bajillion anyway, and no one's going to ask you to keep track of a million counters. So, here is this right here, and you use these two to make Bryonic, and use Gateway's 6 counter effect that everyone forgets about to bring back Squire. And you use Squire and 2 Gizans to make Trishula. That's your first Trishula, number 1. My buddy Noah is borrowing my Trishula right now, so I don't actually have it. But 9-star tuner, or 9-star synchro, so just pretend it's a Trishula for now, I guess. Then you use the Bryonics effect to discard your own Musuo, the one you got back from the Shinai earlier, to put Mistworm back in your extra deck. And Gateway to get this from the graveyard, this from the graveyard, and this from the graveyard for 14 counters. Not that that really matters, because your economic standpoint is kind of moot when you have infinite. And you use this again to make the Mistworm. Then use Gateway to add any samurai in your graveyard to your hand, discard it to put it back, bring them back again. Trish, 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 trish. They have no more hand. And you win. And that's, what are they going to do? If they top draw Blackluster Soldier, then I guess they can kill some of your shit, but they can't game you that turn. And Gateway the 6, whatever. And you're going to win next turn anyway because you can bring all this back. Or they could Dark Hole, oh no, and then Gateway the 6 and you bring out 7 monsters, or summon any samurai, remove all the counters to give it 10 billion attack. Like, it doesn't really matter. There is no card in the game that they can draw with only 1 card to come back and win, or to put you in a position where you can't win next turn. It just doesn't exist. And that's how the loop works. I don't have a deck list for it because I've been messing with it so much and it's really inconsistent. But it does work maybe 65% of the time. Not on the first turn. I didn't get it on the first turn hardly ever, but I did win the game with the loop about 65% of the time at that regionals. So it definitely needs work. And that version was ridiculous anyways, with like Mystic Piper and Monster Slots and Battle Fader and stuff. Like, it didn't try to rush to the combo, it just like hung out and played 1 card a turn until you had the combo, and then it was like, well, boom! So it was a very different approach to an OTK FTK, because it was strictly OTK and very slow paced at that. I'm going to do a deck profile on this later, probably on Saturday when I get my Trishula back after I've had time to mess with the deck a little bit more, because I put it down for a long time to worry about other things. But there you go. That is how it works. Shoutouts to my broskies, Joe Lancaster and Tobin Shields, who really wanted this list a little while ago, and I feel super bad I didn't get it up then. But they, among others, were really asking, and now you know. So, I'll catch you next time.